figuring out who the last couple of teams are that are going to be going to the LAN finals at the Minsk Arena coming up in late January. I believe the tickets are available now, by the way, if you guys would like to check that out, or if you'll be in the area at the time, so you can go and find more info on that over at spyleadeR's website. But this is going to be our third and final map here in this set. We are live with the knife round now. So you can see these two duking it out. e-frag have been flawless in their knife rounds so far this evening, and it looks like that may be continuing tonight, or on this map, I should say. Going 5 for 5, but Navi and flamie having a fun old time trying to play Ring Around the Rosie by the fountain, but that's not going to work out too well. e-frag are not a fan of fun, and they'll just be grouping up, making sure they have absolute security in their knife round victory as they pull out the pistols, violating the rules of the knife round there. And obviously, again, we are going to see e-frag winning that one out, so they'll get their side choice to start off for the 5th time tonight, if I remember correctly from the other Titan set as well. And here we go, guys. Getting live once again now with our third and final map here this evening. And we will go back into the match right now. Natus and Vincere are going to be starting off on the CT side. e-frag do choose to start off on the T side, so they are going to start off here. Probably, I think this as well is the first time they've done this evening. Obviously, it's on Cobble, so it makes sense. This is probably one of the very few maps that actually, arguably, is a little bit more T-sided, depending on the teams that are playing it. But obviously, the Ts do tend to have a little bit of an easier route, oftentimes, at least in the earlier rounds, with trying to pick up rounds, and that could help them out very nicely as we get into the later portions of the half too. But starting off, Zeus goes for the dually pickup once again, along with an HE grenade. The rest of the team basically just going to buy up armor and nothing else behind it. And as for the rest of e-frag here too, fairly similar buys. NKL, no pistol upgrade, but he does invest into an HE. And then we'll see the rest of these guys too. They're actually, again, playing some mind games against Navi's CT side, and this is going to work out perfectly, making all this noise back over by long A approach. And it's going to draw so much pressure over here towards it for the time being. Everybody just sitting back, waiting for a push to come outside of either the mid connector or back over there towards long. Meanwhile, they've got the bomb sitting right here, but they're not doing anything, despite the fact they pull these rotations off. I think Navi have already realized this is a fake to some degree. Edward's still here. It's actually interesting to leave Edward of all people here because of the fact that they have him sitting back by fountain with only 7 HP, and then Zeus as well is sitting back over here by drop with the dualies. So this is a very weird round from e-frag, as they themselves, they haven't heard anything yet from Navi, so they are still trying to figure out just what the hell is going on with their rotations. But now they finally have to do something because they've only got 30 seconds left on the clock. Zeus is going to get hit pretty hard here, but at the same time, Guardian picking up that first kill into NKL a few moments ago. Now Victor trying to find his way out. He'll pick up a kill, sees with the response, but Edward gets dropped back by Chicken Coop too as they take him down. 15 seconds left now. That timer for e-frag gets lower and lower, and they're trying to cover every single angle they can find. Zeus is pinched to the corner. He's going to get finished off there, but Guardian, he's going to be able to pick up 2. He's already up to 3 kills, likely to find the 4th here as Dreamer's pressing up right into his face. Guardian just needs 1 more, and he's going to run out of time anyway, so it doesn't even matter. There we go. The round's going to end, and what's worse about this is Guardian actually kills Dreamer after the timer expires. So you can see everybody else on e-frag is going to have like close to 2K, and they can force up a Tech 9 round if they want to here, but Dreamer's only going to have $450. So he's going to have nothing going into this round. He's just going to invest a P250, and he's actually going to be even lower than the rest of his teammates are by some degree. So that's not the best way to start things off here for e-frag on the pistol round of the 3rd map, which could potentially determine if you're going to a LAN or not. So we start off this one once again. Nobody covering drop for some reason there. So e-frag's just going to have a free entryway inside of drop, and they pick up the first kill. It's traded back by Zeus, but still, that's a very dangerous area to give freely to the members of the T side now. Zeus is going to be able to pick up another one here with an HE, but still, very good control maintained by the members of e-frag, and Zeus looking for a way to turn this back around. He does clear out the drop area, but they're making progress on the site take. Thankfully, it seems C's and Zeus should be able to bring back the calmness to this one. As now spyleadeR's just going to be the last one left alive here. Dropping down, looking to pick off these final 2. He gets 1, and has now got 40 HP along with armor to close this out. No bomb to plant as of yet, but that's not going to matter. He's going to take the duel anyway. Zeus will thankfully win that and give Navi the round, but that could have gone a completely different way. And as light as e-frag take that one, that's still a very good outcome. That's still a very good outcome to the round, just because of the fact of how many players on Navi they actually end up taking down at the end of the day. So that's going to force a lot of rebuys, and we can already see here too, the money's not really going to be too high for these players, and that will lead pretty badly into the first gun round. Because if we do see e-frag taking that one away, then they'll immediately be forced onto that eco in comparison to where if these anti-ecos go very well for the CTs, they can almost instantly just go for another rebuy if they drop the first gun round. This is not going to be the case for Navi because of how heavily they lose here. And again, Zeus covering drop, but not really. It's going to be be left open, so Zeus is now going to try to round back around, but even he can't pick up any kills. He finds one, that's it. He picks up Victor, and now Dreamer again is going to be just rolling in here, picking up the kills left and right. Edward's holding back over here on top of the platform, but he's only got 8 HP, so e-frag move in. Bubble's going to find another kill onto Edward, and it's just on C's now. He's got an okay position, but long-range battle versus Bubble at this point just not going to pan out. Can't find anybody. He's been pinholed, and that's going to be NKL that takes him down. And e-frag, on again, another fairly light round. They upset it, and they're now going to steal a round away from the members of Navi, preventing this first gun round for them from even happening. Now they have to go for a save, unless they should choose to force things up here for the pistol armor buy-ups, but that's not going to be happening. Just a couple deagle upgrades here and there, and some 5.7s too. And for e-frag now, they're just going to keep what they have, because I think they realized that Navi, with how passively they were playing their C2 side, are not going to go for a super heavy investment as of yet. They do go for the armor upgrade, so it was actually a little bit wrong. They do to some degree. If they could afford it, basically, they force this one up a little bit more. But that's not really so misplaced as of yet here. First player that's probably going to see any sort of combat is going to be seized, as there's one player going up the suicide steps. He may check first, but nope, he's going to jump back in there. Thankfully, NKL can handle himself. He's going to win that first duel versus seized, and now Victor waiting for more to come back on the rotations. A little bit late on the timing there, so can't actually pick up the first player, but he does respond by finishing off Guardian after he tries to cross outside, and they confirm that they are moving in from this angle as well. Zeus just sitting himself right now just inside the mid-connector, be like, oh, I'm going to get these guys when they roll out. But the problem is, Zeus, buddy, everybody on e-frag now is working their way back over here towards the B site, try and push themselves in over towards this one, and they're going to get it for free. Natus Vincere finally realize what's going on, so Zeus, he's going to press himself back over here to try and get these guys on a flank, but I think they're maybe accounting for this exact thing to sort of happen here, so Zeus is going to move in. spyleadeR, actually, no, doesn't see this coming, so Zeus is going to be able to pick up a kill over on him now and eliminate him from the play. Now these guys draw back, and NKL is going to be able to finish off Zeus, so they realize now what's been played out here, and for Navi, unfortunately, no other impact is probably going to be made here, as they should be safe to pick up the second point this time around. Just finishing off those last couple of players from Navi. And flamie, of course, does want to try and save this deagle, so he presses himself up in top of the clock tower. Or not really clock tower, it's the tower. And e-frag should be able to keep pretty much everybody alive, but unfortunately, one player, Dreamer, does end up going down as an additional loss to the end, so not necessarily the cleanest round they could have hoped for, but on the T side, once again, they can sort of eat up this sort of thing, so they don't really have to worry about this too much, since Navi again, and this is not like the second or third time that Navi has fallen for tricks like this in this entire set. This is becoming a very common thing for e-frag to do, is try to throw these fakes, and I don't really think Navi are like, I don't really think Navi are expecting these sorts of fakes to happen this heavily, so the problem is that Navi are constantly thrown off base, and we just see so many rounds where Navi can't do anything because they misrotate, throw too many players off of the point, and they're left with nothing else to do. That's happened at least 2 or 3 times now, and it's becoming a fairly big detriment now to Navi's CT side, and is a part of the big reason why we don't just see them dominating as much as we would expect them to, and why e-frag are actually a pretty big opposing force going up against the members of Navi. The problem for e-frag comes in the form of, again, when they just go for these really rough takes right off the bat, is that Navi are able to hold them off very nicely when they don't use utility and whatnot in order to press themselves through with these. And this could be another round where we see that happening again, but with 3 smokes, I imagine they would get themselves very well ready to throw themselves into the site and get against that now. Zeus putting himself just behind drop. He's gonna wait for these players and have that smoke to support him, but switches over to his pistol for some reason after he picks up the first kill, and now Edward, nicely done by him, dropping out the platform. They had much better success trying to push themselves out over here towards drop, but not really going to be too successful, unfortunately, as that Molly comes back out, finishes off one of the other players, and then the peak just comes back out there from the player on platform and finishes them off as they try to push their way in. So that's a great hold from Navi, and again, big problem there for e-frag. Exactly as we discussed. Not really utilizing the utility as well as they could. Navi have these very large setups to work against. One smoke could have potentially thrown that the other direction, but they don't decide to do it, and they're shut down because they try to go for a dry take. And everybody on Navi is basically ready for that. They can hear that coming from a mile away. And just the positioning from the members of Navi is unfortunately going to bite them in the butt. So now we can see again, Edward's basically going to put himself in the same spot here, jumping up and down, just trying to avoid putting himself inside of the fire there. And he's actually jumping down, but the flash hits him too hard. So he's going to be completely misjudging the positioning of his opponents there. Seized, along with Zeus coming out there, picking up 2 more kills, and flamie's able to pick one up too. He is traded out by spyleadeR, but now it's just 2 left alive here. And spyleadeR trying to distract him while obviously we can see Bubble trying to work his way outside of drop. Seas will be waiting for him though as he peeks out, but no, he actually looks away at the last second, so they pick him off. Now it's just on Guardian to hold off this 1 versus 2. Dual angle as well. He's got to pull away from this one and try to find a better way to go for this retake, because right now from his current position, he's really not going to be in a good spot to do it. So spyleadeR pressing his way, trying to get towards Broken Wall, but Guardian can't finish him off for some reason. Runs out of ammo there too, so he's got to go for the reload, and he doesn't have a whole lot of ammo left. Pressing forward, this is just calling for his own death at this point. The spyleadeR peeks out, he does manage to take him down, and now it's just Bubble sitting back on top of the platform. He should know that Bubble's here, but Guardian's so low. Literally 1 tap from Bubble should be enough to finish off Guardian, at least in the correct spot. Guardian's trying to jump up, running out of time, but nope! Goes the wrong way at a 50-50 shot of finding Bubble there. But Bubble is going to end up winning that battle. And e-frag again now picking up an additional round, striking right back at the heart of Navi, and will destabilize their money, bring them back down onto a safe territory. Guardian, because he has a little bit more than the rest of his teammates, is going to be able to go for a scout pickup. The rest of his guys basically just going for the upgraded pistols, and e-frag here still obviously able to get the full buy that they would like. With spyleadeR going for a Mac 10 this time, so they do know this is going to be an eco, and we can expect the play from e-frag to probably be a little bit slower. Because of that now, they don't want to run into any aggressive plays from Navi that they're not expecting or any real off-angle kills. They'll move in very slowly, very methodically into this site. Actually, again, are trying to throw that fake, and it's going to work. Look, this is possibly the 4th time this has happened now, where one little space of aggression from spyleadeR is just going to draw the entirety of Navi over towards this site. So now e-frag have an open B site. If they want to plant it there, they just walk right in and get it. Obviously, again, this is like happening on an eco round, so it's not a big deal, but we've seen this happen on gun rounds before too, which is one of the biggest problems for Navi. So they again fall for this sort of trap here, and they're even picking up the kills for it too, which is probably the worst part about it, is it's like they're faking it, but they're also making the fake work, so they technically could just go through with the A-plant scenario if they wanted to. But NKL picking up an additional frag, now shuts down Zeus, and now e-frag finally just going to waltz right out onto that B site and take control of it, whereas Guardian will have to look to pick up some kills, probably just going to fall back and save, however, as he does have that scout investment along with an HE still in his arsenal. I think picking up, no, Mac 10's not worth more than a scout, so just keep that in your arsenal. As now he's going to pull away from this one. Thought about it though, just possibly so he could hold himself alive a little bit better in case e-frag wanted to go and hunt him down, but this is not the case. He falls away from this, and is now going to allow e-frag to take the round from them. And the other problem for e-frag too is with rounds like that, again, they're going to be feeling that much more confident about their ability to control this one. As now that's another time that Natus Vincere have been thrown off guard by a fake. So it's not completely, it wouldn't be completely unheard of if we just saw them try to do something like this again. Because there's not even really, like we saw the rotations from Navi. There wasn't even, this is another thing too, is there's not even like any question to it. Like, okay, we were thrown off this one time. Maybe this time it's a fake, guys. There wasn't even any question. Everybody just goes over to the A site without any hesitation whatsoever. They all just rotate directly in there without a single hint of hesitation. And unfortunately, that's just not going to work out. So it looks like it's that same setup again to try and pull this off. They actually are watching out for any aggression inside of mid-connector there too, which is smart, because I think they realize that somebody may be trying to scout this out and prevent this from happening. I think, however, though, when we look at the positioning from Navi, I think Navi are finally starting to catch on to all these fakes. So they're actually going to try to put a couple more players onto the B site this time to try and watch out for that one. The big key thing here is going to be making sure the Guardian sells the fact that they have rotated. And they're going to bring Seized over there to try to assist with that. No one else is moving in, but e-frag, they're very, very smart. They've noticed this, and now they're going to actually go for the A-take directly here. They move the bomb carrier along with Dreamer over to support this one. Seized is going to have to come out in a very big way outside, because unfortunately for Guardian, with only that scout, he's not going to be able to hold out the rush back over here by long A push. He's going to be the big player. He's got to prevent these T's from getting themselves past the wall. So now they're going to work their way out. T's finding the first one. Victor's a little bit far behind, so we might be able to grab that one, but thankfully Victor's there for the response. Guardian chucking in that nade. Not really going to connect all that well. He does bring MKL down very, very low, but then there's Zeus as well, taking out an additional player. He's going to be able to finish off Victor, and flamie inside the shed getting some good damage onto these players, finishing off MKL, bringing Dreamer down to 8 HP, and now Zeus here, going to try and stop Bubble from getting that plant. There's 30 seconds left, so Bubble has a lot of time to work with here, but they spot him now. Bubble down to 35 HP, just forcing the plant. At this point, again, money's going to be a very big pickup for these guys, so he moves towards it. Edward taking the duel there, but Bubble peeks and finds a headshot, shuts out Edward. Still 2 left alive from the CT side, though, so they're not in the clear just as of yet, and now they're being flanked as well here. Zeus trying to run up directly to them, but they spot that, and now it's all on flamie. sneaking in, trying to see if he can find that angle against Bubble right now, trying to go towards them, but we can see there too. flamie completely underestimates the positioning there from Bubble, sticks on the bomb, trying to force these players out, but they're smart. They know this is not going to be the case. Now they rotate around in safe positions, finding that first kill. He's got to run. He doesn't have a kit. He's got nowhere to play this one. He's got to try and save his gun, but unfortunately not going to be able to run away. Bubble will shut him out. Bubble probably going to end up going down to the explosion. Oh, no, actually. The bomb doesn't end up blowing up, so not only does he win the round, but he actually saves the AK too. And that, again, is going to help out with the money situation here from e-frag. So that's a great victory from these guys. And again, the mind games continue from the T side of this map. As Natus Vincere, unfortunately, continue to have the struggles they do with figuring out exactly where these players are going to come from. And it's just it's probably going to be very hard and very frustrating to figure this out exactly. Because now, again, look what they're back to. 3 outside, probably at least 1 going to push in to try to make some noise here. C's going to try to throw this off, and spyleadeR doesn't actually see it, but spyleadeR thankfully able to correct that name, I should say, and take him down. And now the CT's just getting aggressive. Dreamer is taking down Guardian. This is probably going to hold Navi, or at least split them up now, because now they have no clue where this is going to be played from. They've killed one, or they've managed to take down one inside of the castle area there, but they still didn't spot the bomb, I don't believe. And flamie's going to take one of the other players out here too. So the actual fake players from e-frag, they fall back, and now they're just going to go directly for the B push. Navi, again, they got smart about this. On an eco, it's not really a whole lot to expect for them in terms of countering out the round itself, but now they've decided to just go right in and try to get this info for themselves so that they can put their players in the correct positions. And this is going to work out, as now flamie moves inside a drop. He'll won't really be getting any action here, but Edward up close and personal with that deagle. That could be troublesome. Trying to line up these shots, but not in the correct places. That'll be Dreamer finishing him off. Now flamie rotating, but there actually is somebody coming from drop, so that might be able to finish him off quite quickly now. And spyleadeR is going to be missed by flamie, so he pushes past now and tries to get himself over towards the statue to find that plant for himself. Dreamer just moves into support, and we do see one coming out, but doesn't even notice him at all. MKL completely missing the opportunity there, so flamie's going to be able to, at the very least, find another kill. Bubble and Dreamer do handle the final players there, but at the end of the day, still another round going towards the way of e-frag. And Navi still struggling on this CT side as they hand over these rounds back to back. Now the op comes into play here, finally into the hands of Guardian. We have not seen this too much as of yet in this entire half so far because of the struggles that Navi have had trying to reestablish, trying to get their economy really to a safe point where they can say this is a good idea to go for this op buy. They've only had a few chances to do it before. Now he's going to be able to pick this back up and can hopefully impact with it, but he's being very aggressive with it right now, pushing himself, getting crazy going inside a mid-connector like that. This is his style, but actually this isn't really akin to his style so much there, but he's going to be able to pick up the first kill there too on the Victor. Falls back away from it, now playing very safe after he's found out. Trying to pick up a second kill, but spyleadeR actually is going to surprise him a little bit. Coming back up from the wall there. That shuts out Guardian. Edward holding in the close cubby, just sitting below balcony there, but he too is going to be shut out by NKL very quickly to hand over the round towards e-frag yet again. And now they lead up by 4 rounds here. Navi starting to fall behind more and more, and again their money is going to be placed down into the dumps where they have to go for a save. This will be at the very worst 8 rounds now for e-frag. Probably a whole lot more because we still have quite a few rounds left in this half here. And Navi again have been really struggling to pick up any rounds at all ever since they found those first 2, and one little response after the first 2 gun rounds went by the way of e-frag. Oh, that's a good start from Guardian though. As again he takes that aggressive position inside of the mid connector, finding spyleadeR. C's might want to try to do this with his teammate too, as they do boost somebody up there, but they gotta fall away from this one because Zeus, along with C's, they're both gonna burn alive there a little bit, bringing them down to 40 and 63 HP. e-frag having a good start about them again, but they did lose a player. However, with Navi still being on a save, I would really say they need to take down at least one more to make this a good situation for the side of Navi just as of yet. And Zeus now pressing forward, but Bubble's going to be waiting for him this time. Brings him down to 4 HP. But again, another frag goes by the way of the members of e-frag, and now they've evened it back out to a 4 versus 4. Bubble, if he actually peeks this will be really ballsy. It would probably be a lot smarter to have Victor go first, but they're actually holding this quite well right now. But then they sweep it as they work their way back down to the spray coming in from Victor and NKL. Picks up 2 more kills onto the members of Navi. Dreamer working their way out. That shuts out Guardian. They haven't noticed that flamie is sitting right behind them, but flamie is unfortunately going to run into his own set of problems trying to execute Dreamer there, so he's able to whip himself back around, pick up that kill. And again, another fairly clean round comes out from e-frag. Only losing... Actually, apologies. Losing 2 players that time, so they can sort of eat that back up. As Navi, again, will transition into another round for them, but things are definitely not starting to look so good here for these guys, as e-frag have that very big advantage. Navi, I think they've started to get a very good grasp on their positioning here, but the big key is making these rounds more consistent, as Guardian is given a free kill here as Bubble presses into him. That's going to be the first one that goes his way. They do have to evacuate away from drop after that play, though, As again, these guys are going to be caught off guard, but Victor jumps down for Broken Wall for free, and all these players are blind right now. Victor's going to move out and find his second one. Guardian, though, picking up 2 more directly after that one. He's finally going to be shut out by Dreamer. That leads it into an even 2-on-2 situation. A Dreamer finding Zeus as he tries to get aggressive, back up by the Broken Wall there, too. Now C sitting behind the rock, going to see if he can try to catch spyleadeR if he works his way outside of drop. The problem is that there's 2 angles to approach this from. And spyleadeR right now, he really has no reason to press out against that, so he's going to sneak. He should have been able to see the gun, and just going to find a nice, easy tap there to finish that one off. e-frag again come out on top of these trades, back and forth. The battles, despite the strength from Guardian and some of the other players here coming out from Navi, it's just not enough, and e-frag continuously shut it down round after round, and now leading by 6 rounds here, growing it more and more every time. And again, Navi, they've had enough of this. They're now forcing it up for the first time in a while. This is going to be Edward and Zeus going both for Mag 7s, apologies. 2 more rifles sitting on flamie and C's, then Guardian has an M4. Excuse me, let me take a drink real quick. But Bubble, Dreamer gets the TK. Doesn't matter though. The Dreamer ends up taking down Bubble, but then NKL and spyleadeR pick up 2 more directly after that, so that TK can to some degree be forgiven. Edward and Zeus picking up the final 2 checks here, as it would seem, but with Mag 7s and nothing on the ground nearby to scavenge, there's not going to be a whole lot that they can do, unfortunately. It's not even like they have a good pistol sitting in their pocket either. They've just got USPs, so if they could get lucky with USPs, that'd be great, but it's more than likely just going to end up coming down to the Mag 7s for the most part. And we can already see them again just falling back to try and save these, as they're still completely empty on the cash margin here, so they'll have to try and save these so that they can really make the save round more worth it next time, at least have a better opportunity at holding out drop. Now, I'm not exactly sure. I'm not exactly sure, but it's pretty certain at this point that I don't think e-frag are aware that both of these shotguns are in play, so if Navi can keep themselves alive without having to fire them, that's going to be good, because then there's more of a chance that e-frag are actually probably going to play towards a drop, or at least some of these closer angles where the Mag 7 can be more, impactful, like over towards Broken Wall too, or even towards Long A if they can put one of them there. So because they haven't found out about these shotguns just as of yet, they can still remain to some degree a mystery. But actually, if you take a look, the Force is going to come up here now. They upgrade 1 more rifle, another FAMAS coming out for C's, and Guardian is going to go for the Deagle. They actually won't save up for the final round. They're just going to go all in here and try to, at the very least, swing this back a little bit to make it 10-5. This will be a big risk being taken, but if they can accomplish it, again, it's the big difference now between 11-4 and 10-5, which has a whole set of its sort of ups and downs there. But Zeus with the smoke, putting it back over here. Oh, this could be a buffet for Zeus if he catches it in time. There's the first one, looking for the second, but he messes up that shot, so Dreamer is going to be able to find a trade back over onto him. That leaves it in an even situation for the time being, but that gun's on the ground and unrecoverable, so Guardian's not going to be able to upgrade. Now C's will put himself in the way just outside of the Long A approach. Got a flashbang to try and blind these players, but not a very good angle to bounce this off of right now, so he's going to wait for the peak to come back out. They don't spot him initially, but it doesn't matter, as Dreamer and Bubble take down 2 players back to back. Dreamer finding C's and almost getting the spray down through it. He gets the assist over here on a Guardian as well. Now just flamie, along with Edward, and spyleadeR on the flank right now. He might be found out by Edward, but this is not the case. spyleadeR waltzes right into the balcony room. That's going to shut him out. And now the last player alive is Edward, and he's got nowhere to move. He's got nowhere to work towards. He could save, but honestly, again, it's only a Mag 7, so it's not like a huge deal. He might as well just try to get some damage on these players to get some extra cash. Maybe that could be a gun dropped or an AK now as it's picked up. And he'll obviously get the extra money, and oh, that's not going to be good for Edward. Edward tries to toss the flash over the wall to maybe find a way back in and pick up at least 1 more kill onto these guys, but messes that flash back up, and now is sort of chilling back here behind the door, as he has more of a vested interest in keeping himself alive. And e-frag, again, with an absolutely giant lead here on their T side. This is not a good prospect for Navi when we consider the fact that, again, more of the issues that we see. And actually, hold on, Edward pushing out, finding at least 1 more of these kills, but he is shut down on the way out. 1 more does die to the bomb explosion from the side of e-frag. The problem, though, with him going for these kills at the end of the round is it doesn't really matter that he gets these frags, because they still easily have enough money to buy through this. So it's not like he's really made an impact by getting these ones. And the money's going to be reset after this one anyway, so there's no long-term effects to him picking up those kills. They're going to rebuy, and it doesn't really matter. If he'd saved that AK, we would have been looking at another rifle instead of a Mag 7 in this round, and now it's not the case, and now we have the Mag 7 coming into play for Zeus once again, so it's just not going to be good. However, this Mag 7 could become a very key component to a victory from Navi, as there is going to be drop play coming into this round once again. As e-frag just go right up for the take this time. Not a lot of resistance coming out from Navi just as of yet. Zeus mainly watching out for a push to come back in through drop room, but it'll be Victor and Edward and flamie trading out kills left and right at 2v2, but Zeus catching one with a shotty, shuts down Bubble, and Dreamer there too, trying to pick them up, but sees with the flank, shuts them out, and at the very least we have one more round being put onto the board here for Navi before the half ends, but not very good at all here. e-frag with a huge lead on the T side. You can argue this map is T-sided, it's somewhat correct, but it's fairly evenly T-sided. I would probably say 8-7, 9-6 for most at the worst case scenario. 11-4 is an absolutely huge advantage being given to e-frag, and especially with the problems that we saw, not just to some degree, not just in this set, but in the last set 2 versus Titan with e-frag. Their CT side is where I've been seeing a lot more good things from, so this is not going to be good because now e-frag get on the side where I think they can have a lot more impact. The movement factor is going to be a little bit harder to work for on this map, I feel, because it's not necessarily as open-ended as some of the other maps that we've played, but if e-frag are able to find a way to work their movement patterns and find these flanks and whatnot that we were seeing back on the previous 2 maps, and this could still be e-frag just closing out this second half very quickly and upsetting this 2-1. We'll go directly into the pistol round now for the second half, and Navi very directly going out towards the B site here to try to make a push for it. e-frag are ready for this to some degree, and they've already got their players starting to rotate into it. spyleadeR taking some heat on the way in. Dreamer and Zeus again trading those blows back and forth, but it's Zeus making all the impact right now, dodging the bullets coming back out here from NKL, and he's going to be able to dispatch him as well. This could be the pistol round ace coming out from Zeus, but not going to happen. flamie steals it away, but obviously hands up to Zeus as he shuts down that entire attempt at a rotate from e-frag and finds all the entries too. That pistol round is won basically single-handedly by Zeus and cleaned up by the rest of his teammates to pick up that final frag. Natus Vincere not out of this set just as of yet, as e-frag have a little bit more work to do now that Navi's picked up this pistol. They can hopefully build the score a little bit more, with e-frag taking the second round very, very lightly. And we'll see again 3 players pushing their way in, but Victor able to hold the initial angle there, picking up that first kill. Oh, Guardian, no! Headshot Zeus as there's a little bit of a movement mistake there. He takes him down, and that actually leads to an evenly traded battle after that actually transpires a little bit here. NKL trying to peek his way back out, trying to finish off one of these players. They do spot them moving in, but spyleadeR, along with I think it's Dreamer moving with him. They're actually going to try to go for the flank, and this is very dangerous because they're taking way too long to accomplish this now. NKL's been revealed. They know he's sitting back over here on balcony. Sitting back right now. There's not going to be anything he can do, but spyleadeR, thankfully that flank works out, and they're able to pick up an additional kill, but now they've been found out. Now they know that at least one player is coming in. Dreamer still has a bit of mystery about him, though, so they can still surprise with that one, but spyleadeR's got that rifle. He's going to be able to pick that back up, takes down flamie, and now Guardian has to try and hold this off in a 1 versus 3. Not going to happen. spyleadeR closes out the final 3 kills, shuts them all down, and it's an upset for e-frag here now as they eco. They don't even go for a big investment with pistols and armor. It's just a couple upgraded pistols with nothing else sitting behind it. They find that flank. Navi don't expect that at all, and now they're going to be able to strike right back, upset the balance in Navi's economy, force them to save here more than likely in the next round, and e-frag once again can keep that advantage strong, keeping it up to a +7 advantage here. But Navi are not necessarily going to go directly into their save. They go directly for a Neck 9 armor around here. Gonna see if they can work something with it. They've got smokes and flashbangs, and if it's gonna be a quick take, which it definitely is, and they could make some impact with this one, working their way in, but these HE grenades doing a decent amount of work. However, C's will get the honor of picking up the first kill. They roll, oh, I thought that was another team kill, but almost was. Now NKL, Bubble, picking up those kills left and right. They keep it evenly traded for the time being, and Bubble, he's gonna try to finish off the Guardian before he can get himself down below the broken wall platform. That will not be happening as of yet, and Victor trying to move in, but Guardian gets the Huandig and shuts out a second one as well. Finishing off the round, Natus Vincere strike right back. And now we're at 6-12. Ooh, and e-frag again. They could force, and it looks like they're going to. So the battle will continue back and forth between these two teams, and we'll have the first quote-unquote gun round happening a little bit early here between these two guys, but unfortunately for e-frag, they're going to be a little bit unbalanced with it. Victor and Bubble are back down on the CZs, not really, and they've got a smoke and an HE between the two of them. Those that were able to upgrade 2 rifles have a little bit more. And again, it should be a fairly standard round from e-frag besides the 2 CZs that are now missing from the equation. Navi, though, of course, with the victory, they should have everything they need to work towards because they've stocked up enough cash now off their own victories to be able to buy up full rifles for everybody. Edward picks up one of the CT's FAMASas, and then Zeus just back onto a Galil that actually was used 2 rounds previously. It was picked up by one of the CTs, and I think he got it back last round. This one, though, starts off in the favor for e-frag once again, and Victor hugging this wall. If they don't spot him initially, there we go. They're wiping the floor with him. Victor and Bubble hold a huge crossfire angle, shuts them down. That nade's going to do some damage to Guardian, and now Guardian, he thinks they know that he's there. So Guardian has to fall back away from suicide steps and fall back to maybe regroup with his only other teammate now, which is going to be flamie. e-frag again upset the balance here, but they might be able to recover this just as of yet, as flamie finds a way into the B's site by taking down spyleadeR, but if he goes in on his own, that's still going to be very, very weak, as again, he's got both Dreamer along with NKL watching out for him, and NKL even watching out for drop pressure too, but thankfully, because that drop pressure is being watched out for, Guardian's going to be able to come with this teammate, and for now, they only have to worry about Dreamer back over by the rock angle. But Victor now flanking them. Dreamer picking up one of these kills, and a great setup from Navi, but again, they got a bit of stage fright sitting up back on top of the platform. Couldn't really find a safe angle with which to push their way onto the site, and that just leads to not only one of the players, Dreamer, picking them off, but the flank comes out there from e-frag too quickly too, and they are basically dispatched because of that one. So nobody can seem to get an advantage here as of yet, as the rounds have been traded back 4 times in a row now. And finally, Navi too. They've kind of run out of gas here, so they're not really going to be able to go for rifle buy-ups this time. Just have to go for the upgraded pistol armor buy. And not even full Tech 9s either, just P250s for some of these guys. Deagles, a couple Tech 9s, 2 Deagles in the picture, but the big problem here is even if we do see again another round being won by Navi, they have to try to win out more than one in a row after this, because this is still, these trades back and forth and back again are still favoring e-frag, because they're just going to get closer and closer to 16 points, and eventually e-frag will get their 16th point just off of these trades. So if Navi, I would say like right here, if Navi don't end up winning, this one or win the next round that comes because of it, then this one's going to be over more than likely, and e-frag might just have it in the bag. It's going to be so hard for Navi to get back after this one, but Edward trying to work some damage here now as he's the last player left alive in this round. We'll get mollied, and then KL just pushes right into his face, shutting him out, and e-frag again now will get another point, another round, apologies. Sitting up at 14 now, and Navi forcing it up once again. They've got no choice but to do this if they want to try and win out this map. They cannot let e-frag get to 15 rounds. If they do, the amount of rounds there's going to be needed in a row to make a comeback is going to be nigh impossible for them to grab. So they have to try and attempt it right here, right now. Only one rifle for the entire team. The rest are on Deagles and Tech 9s once again, but Edward's actually going to get hit by a nade that tossed almost perfectly into their court at the beginning of this round, and we can see C is already down at 46 HP. He's been basically destroyed. He's going to lead the charge now, basically act as the info grabbers. They roll their way back out. They've got a couple players holding outside, but they know this play is coming towards A already. They can hear it moving in. The player that's playing close up by mid-connector is going to know that this is rolling back in. They've already made some progress through alley, but it doesn't matter. spyleadeR just shutting these guys down left and right. Seized and flamie. They're both going to falter. Now it's Edward, Guardian, and Zeus trying to find a way, but these guys too are just getting shut down from every single angle they could possibly do this from. Guardian is trying to sneak in to find a flanked angle, but he's coming so slowly that e-frag are already aware that this is a possibility, and they're going to roll right in. spyleadeR shuts him down. It'll be Zeus as the last one alive, sitting back over here in the alley. Nothing he can do. He's trapped. They haven't necessarily found him as of yet, but hold on a second. Has anybody... I think Bubble senses him, but I don't think they fully realize that he's sitting actually in the alley just as of yet, so he can surprise a little bit. Maybe get a plant, which will give them money, and that's exactly what he's doing right now. Trying to find a way to sneak back out, and he's going to look for the plant opportunity. He should be able to get it, too. He's actually gotten his way all the way inside the site. Now the question is, does he look for frags or plant? There's no way he's 1v5ing this, so he's going to go for a plant. They realize it, so they're going to close in on him, and he'll be dying at any second here, but at least he gets the plant money, which, again, considering everything that happened that round, it's good that they get this at least. So now they're going to be able to get an extra $800 for the team. They can have a little bit more, I shouldn't say a semi-decent, I should say a little bit more of a semi-decent buy here going into the match point, but it's all going to be about the execution once again, as e-frag have gained all the momentum they've needed here on this CT side to shut things down at the hands of Navi. And e-frag again have shown a strong suit here on the second half, along with the big advantage they gained from the T side. It might have just been too large for Navi to come back against. So Navi going directly over here towards Broken Wall to start things off. They do have a couple players on a flank towards A, but they're going to find their opening gambit here and pick up a couple frags on the way in. Fortunately, spyleadeR shutting things down as he looks for the response to the earlier frags that went on his team. Takes down the entire Broken Wall approach. Just 2 left in this game. Sees is opening up a killer flank angle, but Zeus has to be very careful with how he proceeds, as he's now going to be the last player on the forward front line, and he's being shut down too. They can already hear it too. They know Seas is coming from behind, and that's going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. e-frag win the third and final map in this set. 16-6 is going to be the final score. They will take CobbleStone, and as well, they will take this set 2-1 against Navi. Congratulations to them after a bit of an unfortunate upset, or a bit of an unfortunate loss, I should rather say.